Vice President Guliyev. Are you with us, please? I see you there. Please, you have the floor, Mr. Guliyev.
Thank you very much, dear Andres. Let me start by thanking Kari Henriksen for her great efforts in drafting a comprehensive report. I would like to respond very shortly to the groundless accusation raised by Armenian delegation, although my colleagues made some clarification, particularly when it comes to the so-called war prisoners. In addition, I want to add that the European Court of Human Rights adopted a decision in which rejected Armenia's request to immediately release 11 Armenian nationals currently detained in Azerbaijan. There were 2 attempts by Armenia to secure the release of detainees under Rule 39 of the rules of the court. Both were denied. Azerbaijan has rights and obligations under international law to investigate and detain and, as appropriate, prosecute individuals who are suspected of violating Azerbaijani and international law, including committing heinous war crimes. The European Court decision underscored these rights and thus did not recognize the groundless claims of Armenia. The second issue raised by Armenian delegation about the border delimitation and demarcation between Armenia and Azerbaijan. As you know, that after the withdrawal of the armed forces of Armenia from the occupied territories of Azerbaijan, my country is resolute to establishing the border protection system in the liberated territories in accordance with the statement signed by Armenia and Azerbaijan on 10 November 2020. The border demarcation and the delimitation is a bilateral issue and it should be exclusively resolved through the established channels of communication between the border authorities of the countries. Azerbaijan believes that the measures to strengthen the border protection system are implemented exclusively within the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan. It is carried out on the basis of maps available from Soviet time to each side that define the borderline between Armenia and Azerbaijan. We propose Armenia to set up a joint commission to start bilateral discussions on border delimitation and demarcation as established practice that we have in the other countries. Azerbaijan expects Armenia's positive reaction instead of launching another campaign of baseless accusations against Azerbaijan that we observe now. Dear friends, informal talks between Aliyev and Erdogan unfortunately was misleaded and misrepresented by Armenian delegation. If you see the dialogue of Armenian version, you can easily convinced that these dialogue unfortunately have been distorted by Armenian some propaganda machine in order to mislead the international audience. Dear colleagues, finally, I'd like to also touch upon one issue. We all understand that anger and the slandering speech of Madam Karapetyan against my president and victorious Supreme Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Aliyev, who managed to liberate our territories from Armenian occupation and put an end to the impunity of Armenian criminal authorities, which lasted for many years. I do not expect, of course, any admire to my president from Armenian delegation, but they must know that such an irrelevant hostility doesn't bring any honor to their country and doesn't change consequences of Armenian heavy defeat on the battlefield. My recommendation to you is, dear Armenian colleagues, to prepare yourself, first of all, and your people for peaceful coexistence with your neighbors rather than continue dissemination such false information and propaganda about your neighbors. Stop telling one-sided narratives and biased stance concerning the realities on the ground. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.